Brandon. Thank you so much for having us, inviting us into this amazing space. Everyone, welcome to the Resource Cafe presented by ASU Ocher. My name is Nadia. We're so happy to have Brandon Varela here, longtime partner in our Thrive Neo 5 work, longtime partner, future partner in a lot of projects, and Yaqui artist. And you run the museum here, Brandon. So thanks for meeting with us and inviting us in.
No, thank you for coming in. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, so tell us this space. If I've never been here, and it's so cool, and you can just, there's so much history here, you can feel it. So could you tell me a little bit more about this building, the space, the historical significance?
Yeah, definitely. So the house itself was built in 1926 by Antonio Matus. He built it for his wife, Eliza Mesa. And they were living here. It is probably one of the oldest, if not the oldest house in the community. They lived here, and in the 1980s, she donated to San Ignacio Yaqui Council with the thought of giving it to the tribal dancers who had come from Mexico, our homelands, to here to dance for our ceremonies.
Okay.
In the early 2000s, the house itself started to deteriorate. It was made from, original materials, adobe, scrap wood, scrap metal. And in that same time, it was put in to be built into a museum.
Okay.
So in 2011 and 12, plans were put in. 2012, renovations were made. So the original structure itself is the same, but they added electricity, some floors, and new vicas.
To pull back a little bit, we're here in the museum. I want to hear more about, kind of let people know hours, how we can come here, what they can see, kind of some of the history. But pulling back a little bit, we're also right near the community center for the old Pascua neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the San Ignacio Council, and this urban community right here in the middle of our Thrive Neo Fire, in the middle of the city. But some of like the oldest ceremonial lands where you have your ceremonies. Could you just tell us more about the kind of history of this just whole area and kind of what this space has been used for in the past and continues to be?
Definitely. So historically, Yaquis would migrate due to conflict with Mexican government. So from about 1886 to 1907 was the biggest move of Yaquis, of migrating over here to Arizona. However, the community wasn't established until 1921. It wasn't officially recognized until July 13th, 1922. So we just celebrated our centennial.
Yes.
The joke going around is that we have 100 years of paying taxes. But officially, there's no start to when the settlement actually was created. We just know that there was a large group of Yaquis here, which then turned into a community. Before then, before development, before the city of Tucson annexed this whole area, there were about 4 or 5 different Yaqui communities, more up north in like the Prince area. Our theory is due to like migration and due to development and everything, people were pushed together. So this became one of the first settlements in the Tucson area. So through that, in the 70s, through federal recognition, there was a split in the neighborhood. So a number of the members here in Old Pascua moved to the reservation and chose to live out there, with the remaining families staying here and continuing on the traditions and whatnot. So
awesome. Yeah. It's been, I think, one of the greatest pleasures and like one of the most humbling experiences working on this grant with you all, having been so welcomed into the community and into this space, and to have been able to, watch and see all the ceremonies, the culture, and how you all are so connected in the fabric of this community.
I mean, yeah, definitely. It's amazing to see a community that's really settled into an urban area that still holds on to their traditional and indigenous beliefs. The values and everything that we grew up with are still intact here. And the community itself, though we're going through, phases of like colonialism, assimilation, and whatnot, the ceremonies are still intact and we still hold true to them. Actually, too, I was part of a team that put together historical evidence of our footprint here. that we sent up to Congress in the effort to get this area federally recognized. So
Very cool.
the last I heard, we moved all the way up to the Senate, so we're waiting on the vote for them.
Excellent.
So once we get that, we'll hopefully be able to get some houses here and plots of land established into land trust,
I
so
love
federal
that.
reservation land, yeah.
So exciting. That's huge. That's so
Mhm.
cool. So speaking of, the culture connecting to the roots, it's everywhere in this building. You can see this amazing painting, which I'll ask you about later, and ask you about your artwork. But for folks who've never knew this museum existed and that you could come visit it, you can. So can you tell us about the hours, admission, when folks can come by, what they can expect to see here?
Definitely. So the museum itself is in the community of Old Pascua, 856 West Gaia Santa Ana. The museum, there's no admission fee. We do have donations accepted. We just ask that there are respectable, masks are encouraged. Large groups and smaller groups will find a way to accommodate. But the museum hours are from Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
With Saturday being appointments.
Okay.
And people can call the museum or visit the Facebook page.
Okay.
The number is 520-526-2440.
Okay, awesome. We'll make sure to put that down somewhere for people that don't
Yeah.
get it. Excellent. Is there anything else that you would want to share about the museum? What's anything coming up? The Centennial event I know just happened, and that just looked like a great time.
Yeah, so the Centennial event was pretty great. We had a large group of people here. I would say close to or a little over 100 for the tribal ceremony here, and then we also had a larger community event. Performances, fun zone, and whatnot. Where about close to maybe 300 people came from all the communities in Arizona. But in the future, we are going to have a radio station.
Awesome.
An actual building put into the area. As you can see, we expanded our gate and whatnot. So we have that and more storage space for the museum. So we definitely have more room to move around when we do an actual turn
Cool.
with the exhibits and whatnot. So we'll actually have some more stuff coming in. Yeah, the
That's
museum
so
itself.
exciting.
Yeah, the museum itself holds about like 5,000 artifacts. So as soon as we get some space, we can go ahead and get some things turned around, get some different visuals in here. Yeah.
So exciting. Well, we're gonna look forward to that. So last but certainly not least, I know you yourself are an artist, and this is one of your work in progress works of art. It's so beautiful, all the colors. So anything you want to share about that? I know you have had some work in the community. So there's some murals you've painted. I know there's some artwork you've done that's I think up in City Hall or something. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So my degree is a BFA Fine Arts with a focus in painting, but I also do ceramic art. So the ceramic piece that I did of the deer head is actually in the old courts, which is Southern Arizona Historical Committee or something.
Okay.
But this painting here is actually a commission. Usually I don't paint a lot of dancers in regalia and whatnot, just as another way of looking at it and thinking of my place with my culture and tribe and how I want to represent myself in like a Western art world. But this is a commission, and it features our Pascuala dancers and our Tampalero who escort ceremonial participants to and from our arbor to our church place of worship. Yeah. So this is just the order that they're in and whatnot. But yeah, work in progress. So
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it, and I love seeing your art and all this art, and I think everyone else would love to see it too. So I hope folks come on down, and we're again so grateful and thank you so much for having us here and for being such a great partner. And stay tuned. I know we have a lot of things coming up down the road. I'm sure we're going to plan and community events.
Yes.
So it'll be really fun to see what comes up. Thank you, Brandon, so much.
Thank you.